And hello and welcome everyone to Monday's edition of the Daily 8 here on the News 8 Live Desk. Phil Penarski here, hoping that you had a great weekend and you are handling the start of the week better than I am. We're about 2 weeks into the Daily 8 and this project that we've been working on for a really long time, and I've seen a lot of new viewers. We're having more and more people tune in every single day, which is great to see, but I wanted to provide a little bit of an explainer to everybody who maybe missed the first couple of episodes and maybe is still a little confused on what exactly the Daily 8 is. We're going to be bringing you the top 8 stories each and every weekday here on the Live Desk. It'll be streamed live on our website and also on our Facebook page, but that is just half of the actual equation. The Daily 8 is meant to be enjoyed at your leisure whenever you've got time for just the top hits of the news every single day. You can find it right now on our website, woodtv.com, any day. We've got them all from the start. We've got a whole catalog that you can find right now on woodtv.com. If you just head onto the homepage, you'll find it right up at the top. It'll say Daily 8. You click on that, you'll be able to see the most recent Daily 8. So if you are watching this at about 3 p.m. later today, you'll see this one a little bit ago, but then you'll be able to go back in time and see a little bit about what was happening each and every day that we are broadcasting on the Daily 8. So again, this is not intended to replace any of our amazing newscasts or our website. It is just another way for people to get and enjoy their news. So now that that's out of the way, we can finally get into actually what we're going to be talking about today, and we'll get into our very first story on this edition of the Daily 8. And of course, we have to begin with the big political news from yesterday, as President Joe Biden announced that he will be stepping out of the presidential election and will not seek re-election in November. This comes following speculation for weeks now about the president dropping out and even some calls for him to do so from Democrats here in Michigan. The president did endorse his current vice president, Kamala Harris, to replace him on the ticket, but she has yet to be the official nominee by the Democratic Party at this time. She spoke a little bit ago, and we also heard from Governor Gretchen Whitmer, who gave her endorsement for Harris as well this morning. But this is obviously going to be a very big story until November, but especially until an official nominee for the Democratic Party is selected. And we have another follow-up story. Next Friday saw major issues for banks, city websites, and of course airports after that technology outage. Many of those problems have already been rectified, but there are still some lingering issues for airlines. Our Elena Cugino is back at the Gerald R. Ford International Airport with the latest.
Airports and airlines across the country are still recovering from last week's IT outage. We are seeing that here at Gerald R. Ford International Airport, with a couple of flights canceled this morning. Coming up later tonight, we'll have more from some passengers and what you need to know if your flights were canceled.
All right, thanks, Elena. And of course, we're going to be bringing you all of some pretty helpful links as well for anybody that might be traveling, or maybe they had their flights canceled, or maybe they're looking to travel sometime in the very near future. We're going to have lots of helpful links that you can find on woodtv.com that should be able to help you kind of stay on top of everything as, again, we do continue to move through this story. And we head to Rockford now, where we have some good news to report, as Penelope Wise, a Cedar Springs 17-year-old, had been missing for quite some time, since the end of May actually, and she was found safe Sunday morning. Wise left her home back on May 31st and had not been seen since until yesterday. An investigation is still ongoing into her disappearance, but the Kent County Sheriff's Office did release a few details in this case so far to us, some of them being that she had been gone, as I mentioned, since May, but as of the beginning of June, she had actually been living with a 44-year-old man in Rockford, and the two had since become engaged. That is what the Kent County Sheriff's Office is telling us. There is still a lot of questions, obviously, regarding this case, and we'll be bringing them to you as we do learn them. We did get the chance to speak with Wise's parents yesterday following the announcement that she had been found, and you can find that full interview right now on woodtv.com as well. And while you're there, be sure to take a look at digital reporter Matt Jarowski's latest Sunday story, which looks back on the sinking of the SS Eastland. The passenger ship was traveling on the Chicago River back in 1915 when it began sinking. The disaster would claim nearly 850 lives that day and would become known as the deadliest wreck on the Great Lakes. The story details the birth of the ship that fateful July day, and of course the aftermath from its sinking. The 109th anniversary of the Eastland's demise will come up this Wednesday, and Matt will also be joining me on the live desk that day to talk about this story even more. And from one ship to the next, the United States Navy is introducing a new high-speed naval ship, and it bears a Michigan name. The USS Lansing was announced officially today with Governor Whitmer on hand for the announcement. The ship is still under construction, at this time, but it is near completion, and when it is, it will be used for personnel and cargo travel for all armed services. It's a pretty good day to talk about the water, as well as the weather is shaping up to be a pretty good beach day, hopefully. Let's send it now over to Storm Teammate meteorologist Scott Larson with a look at your Monday forecast.
It's a pretty pleasant start to our work week out there. We'll have partly cloudy skies, warm, somewhat humid. High temperatures looking to rise into the lower and middle 80s this afternoon. We're also going to be tracking the possibility of a few pop-up showers and storms, mainly along and east of US 131. Futurecast displays, again, some isolated shower activity flaring up. It looks like, especially as you travel into central and eastern parts of lower Michigan, that's where we have the better chance at some rain. More precipitation chances coming soon as we get into tomorrow night and Wednesday.
All right, thanks, Scott. And there's a new study out there, and I want to get everybody watching, kind of get their opinion on this and see if they agree. But apparently, 2 cities in Michigan are known to have some of the riskiest drivers in all of America. The recent survey from Allstate looked at the 100 top most populous cities in the entire country and looked at how risky each driver is on a number of factors, from how many drivers are speeding, hard braking, using their cell phone. And Grand Rapids and Detroit found themselves on that list. Detroit came in at 85 out of 100, and the lower number you are, the riskier your drivers are. And Grand Rapids, apparently, according to this survey, has the 9th riskiest drivers in all of the country, but most of that comes from the rate of drivers who speed, and I think most of us that live here can attest to that statement. But still, I was a little surprised by the fact that Grand Rapids beat out all of these other cities and claimed that top 10 spot. I mean, definitely not a list you probably want to be on, but again, the full list can be found right now, and really learning all the methodology behind the survey as well can be found right now on woodtv.com. And we're wrapping things up today, and we've got time for one more story, and it's a reminder to check out our new digital reality series, The Octathlon. It's the perfect way to get in the mood for the actual Olympic Games, which kick off on Friday in Paris. Some of our anchors battled it out in 8 intense competitions, from throwing a baguette to eating French cheeses. We are releasing a new episode each day until the start of the game, so be sure to tune into those, and they can all be found on woodtv.com. which is where you can also find all the replays of every single Daily 8 we've done, including also all of the links to the stories that we talked about in today's episode as well. If you'd like to know a little bit more information, just simply head on over there. And that is going to do it for us today on this latest edition of the Daily 8. I'm Phil Penarski. Don't worry, though, we are going to be back again